Now can you see recording?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Hi everyone, I'm Bhumi Solgama, Dallin, Oscar and Philip are presenting our Sushi Restaurant project for class 334 Light and Sound. Our restaurant name is Road Delight. This is concept for our project. So as you know, in Sushi Restaurant, the main ingredient is raw and unprocessed. That means fish. So based on that, we choose our restaurant name, Raw Delights, and concept, earthy elements, and uh, then next layers. So we use in layer one, we use a series of ambient and directional lighting placed in certain corners of the spaces to help simplify the movement inside the interior, using the radial lighting for the entries, exits, main dining areas, and the sushi bars to emphasize the essence, the importance of these areas in the space. Layer 2. The lightings we want to incorporate inside the space are warm and dim ambient lights as well as radial and bright. Balance of hierarchy and complementing the earthy organic concept. We want the space to feel welcoming but private with the soft dim lights in the sitting areas.
For layer three, we wanted to emphasize the bars and seatings arrangement of the establishment. We also added accent lighting towards the bathrooms exits for easy flow of traffic throughout the area. This was done with the intent. Oh, go back. This was done with the intent of highlighting the important areas of the space. For layer four, we use lighting to highlight seatings with the use of niche. Sorry, niches. Um, we also wanted to highlight the main entrance and important corners that could be used to locate other facilities such as the women's and men's bathrooms.
So for layer 5, dining 1, we chose a downlighting to accent the booths, to kind of illuminate it to help the sitting elements to kind of give that focal and warmth appeal. This gave us strength in this area by sticking to our concept and with the booths laid out in a row along the accessible handicap seating. This allowed it to give easy choice to these mid-tone pediments into our spaces. These incandescent lights offer great task lighting, letting the guests navigate throughout the halls as well, being um, able to enjoy their meals without lighting being overwhelming and distracting. For dining two, we wanted the space to be more welcoming with the cylinder ambient lighting overhangs in the dining area, as well with these LED lights that kind of coved on the east side of that wall. And the purpose was this to provide a clear view of the space and the movement going around. For dining three, um, this is on the east side of the shop and it is along Egyptian board ceiling. We decided to go with an LED down light with which made help the space feel more welcoming but yet private with this warm dim lighting. Also with this pendant lighting that gives a green organic tone, and this kind of helps with our concept and the task of the guests being able to read their menus as well as relaxing with the atmosphere. For dining four, we wanted to go for a contrast of lighting inside of the bathroom, making it more, I guess, lit up so the space would be more easily located, as well a step into a different sort of environment compared to the whole design of the shop.
For our sustainability building code and calculations, we wanted the space to feel welcoming, and so we used ambient overhang lighting in the dining area As well, we use cove lights on top of the ceiling by the bench seating area, and this is to provide a private space with soft dim lights. And the bright and radial lighting's purpose is to provide customers a clear view of the interior. And to receive the credit point for this certification, at least 90% of the individual occupant space has to have individual light control with 3 levels of lighting, which is on, off, and a mid level, which can be between 30 and 70% of the light's maximum illumination. For our design, we wanted the space to be dim and focus on important aspects throughout the interior, while also promoting privacy and intimacy when visiting the space. So here are some of our calculations of the LPD by our building area method. And as you can see here, we got our calculation of total wattage of fixtures at 2,295 watts, with our total square footage being 2,850 square feet. And it gave us the result of 0.0 watts per square foot. And this, once we plug this into our formula, we came out that our space needs approximately 11 luminaires to light up the space. And this is a overhead reflecting ceiling plan showing our lighting and how it will portray into our space. And this is the electrical lighting plan showing the circuits and how well lit the areas are. And this is another view showing the elevations of the pendant cylinders and ambient lightings throughout our space and the different dining areas.
Here's our first rendering for dining 1. In this space, we are using cylinder ambient overhang lighting in the dining area. Also, we use LED cove light on top of the ceiling by the east wall where the bench seating are to provide a private space with the soft dim lights. The bright and radial lighting purpose is to provide customers a clearer view of the space and create better movement so that it's easier to navigate throughout the establishment.
For our dining 2 rendering, in this space we accent focusing on our booths and tables so that the seating area would be a focal point with its warm appeal. These incandescent lights offer great task lighting for navigating throughout the halls, as well as being able to enjoy a meal without the lighting being too bright or distracting.
So for dining 3, the colors of the interior are selected to complement the warm and neutral color palette laid out in the plan. Doing so would bring out the textures of the materials, presenting an earthy organic tone in the space, incorporating the bamboo inside the interior, accentuate our idea of this welcoming environment, connecting with the culture of sushi bars. In this space, we are using LED downlights, and in the booths, we incorporated dim green lighting to provide our guests with welcoming environment. Next is floor plan. Using the contrast of colors in our seating spaces would provide a balance of hierarchy, not overwhelming the materials used in the interior. As well, the organization of the different lightings helps guests to navigate through the space with ease.
Here is our luminaire schedule. It's a list of all the luminaires we use throughout the restaurant. We mainly focus on using warm temperature for the exception of the bathrooms. We wanted the space to feel dim and private, but also be easy to navigate through. We use a lot of ceiling lights and highlight specific areas or important areas throughout the restaurant.
So for the acoustics, after evaluating the sound pressure levels in each dining area per Dewell standards, we found out that for the quality of sound that we wanted to accomplish in our spaces was easy conversational interactions without raising your voices, and a degree of speech privacy, as well as background of soft music. In dining 1, since it is one of the main areas in the entrance, we realized that it's going to have more interactions and more things happening around. with the DBA level of 45 and the DBC level of 70. With dining room 2, since it is by the kitchen, it would be more distracting because of the appliance noises going on, and it would have a DBA level of 55, DBC level of 80. And dining 3 is more of the low noise level because it is one of the private areas that we have in our space with the DBA level of 45 to 55 and a DBC level of 70 to 80. Since dining 1 is one of the more busier places, we understand that it would have to kind of arise with some problems with the balance of quality going on in the space, and dining 2, with everything going on in the kitchen, people coming in and all that movement happening. Dining 3 wouldn't be too much of an issue because acoustically this would be located on the east wall where most of the privacy and easy conversation are happening.